everyone, welcome back. My name is Felicia. If you're new, thank you guys so much for subscribing. I feel like I got a handful of recent subscribers, so thank you guys for hitting that subscribe button. In today's video, I literally just decided to film this video a moment ago. I'm sitting here in a different location, or different than you for you guys. I'm just sitting here at my desk at my at-home, work-from-home setup, and I decided to film this video because I like this view because I'm here looking at a majority of my plants. If you've seen any of my videos in the past, you guys know I have this beautiful plant shelf. It's technically not specifically for plants, but I made it my plant shelf. But I decided to film this video today because I wanted to share with you guys each of the propagations that I'm currently working on. Now, in my last video, I did share my monstera plant that I recently decided to cut up for my own personal reasons. If you haven't watched that video, be sure to check it out. I would say that's the most recent propagation I'm currently working on, but I do have a few others that I don't even think I mentioned them in that video. So I just thought I would share it. I've done propagation videos in the past where I've shown you guys how I propagate my plants and the types of plants I typically propagate. And I oftentimes will propagate my pothos plants. The last propagation I did, and I don't even think I filmed a video for it, was for my golden pothos. I have a very large golden pothos, large in length, and that thing grows so quickly and so long. And while I don't mind the plant being super long, I mean, I don't necessarily like when it's like dusting off the floors. So I rather my plant be full versus long. So what I typically do with my golden pothos, and I'll insert the last video where I shared my golden pothos propagation, but I've since done it again. What I typically would do is I would chop the plant literally in half. I would propagate it, wait for the root system to get nice and strong, and then I would just pop it right back in the plant. So I've done that twice already, and the plant is looking amazing. I've had my golden pothos now, it's been over 2 years, probably close to 3 years, and it's just growing so beautifully. I have quite a few pothos plants. I should probably do a pothos plant collection video. What do you guys think? I'm gonna do it. Because I have quite a few. So anyways, one of the plants that I'm propagating it now is my neon pothos, and I wanted to share that with you guys, which is right here next to me. Actually, before I share that plant with you, let me share the mother plant that I have right here in front of me so I can kind of explain the reason why I like to propagate my pothos plants. So here's my neon pothos plant. I got this plant the Christmas of 2020. Now you're probably wondering, oh, it looks a little scraggly for a plant that you've had for almost 2 years. I do agree, but this plant has come a long way. I feel like when I got this plant, my husband got it for me actually. He purchased it online. And you know, in 2020, you guys all know what went down in 2020, and shipments were delayed, and this one was delayed for like over a week. And as a result, the plant started, you know, dying a little bit. And it was also December time. The weather was a little cooler outside. So when this plant arrived, it was looking a little strugglish. But I'm happy to say, I mean, you know, pothos plants are resilient plants. They're easy to revive. They're easy to care for. Some people may have trouble, but trust me, they're on the easier side of plants to take care of. So this is what the neon pothos looks like. I've cut this one up now a couple different times. So let me let you take a look at the middle. Hopefully you can see, but the middle looks a little, not very full. There's a lot of bald spots. So again, I like my plants to have a more full look versus long. So even though it doesn't look very long today in the video, it has been much longer than this. And again, I recently chopped it up. So my goal with the propagations, once, I'm gonna wait a little while longer, but my plan is to insert those propagations here on the bottom where you see that, I like to call it the bald spot, but it's where you don't really see much stems coming out of. I'm gonna insert the propagations right there. So that's my plan for this plant. So this is the mother plant that I wanted you guys to take a look at. Now let me show you the propagations. All right, so here we go. Now, the propagation station, or I don't know what these are officially called. I always call them stations, but it's so weird to call it a station because it's so tiny. But anyways, I got this from Amazon. If anyone is interested in this, I'll link it below. I will say there are better options out there. This one is perfectly fine, but is not very sturdy. Now, sturdy in the sense, you know, when I put it on the shelf, it's fine, but I have to make sure I prop it up against something so it doesn't tip over. Granted, I have these long leaves in here, so that's probably very likely why it tips over for me, but there's other options on Amazon. Check those out, but if you're interested in this, I'll link it below. Obviously, I have more than just the neon pothos here, but I'll get to this one in a second. I have 2 of these little vials of the neon pothos. Let me pull one out. And I'll put the other one back for now. Make sure I prop it up. All right. Now, what I did with these, again, I cut it from the mother plant. When I cut the mother plant, I initially had these really long stems, and what I did was I cut those in half. Hence the reason why it looks a little short. So I've been propagating this now. It's been about 4 weeks since I've chopped up that plant. And as you can see, the root system is pretty strong on this one. Let me take it out to see before I even claim the root system is strong. I don't want to make a mess, but I do want you guys to get a good look at it. Put this off to the side. Make sure it doesn't spill. All right, so here's a closer look at the roots on this one. Again, propagating it now in water for 4 weeks. You do have the option of propagating your plants in either water or soil. I choose to propagate it in water just because, you know, I like to see what's going on, and obviously it's a lot easier to get a status update in water versus soil. So this is what it's looking like. Technically, if I wanted to, I can go ahead and insert it into the mother plant now, but I think I'll wait just a little while longer. Why? It's just my preference, but this is what the root system is looking like. And I have, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have a total of 6 stems in here. So let me go ahead and put this back in the water because it is dripping all over my hands. I'm gonna go ahead and put it back in the little station kit. And as you can see, as I mentioned, there's 2 of them in here. So that was the first one. Here's the second one. I'm not gonna bother to take it out of the water, but it looks pretty similar to the first one that you saw. The next thing that I have here in this station propagating, as you can see, is the ficus elastica taniki. Now, I've been propagating this one for a very long time. Let me go ahead and get this neon pothos out of the way. I've been propagating this plant now, no lie, it's been at least 6 months. Now, as you can see, the root system, it does look pretty healthy in there. I haven't bothered, I don't want to take the whole thing out because it took me a little minute to get the neon pothos back in there, just with the roots and everything, but hopefully you guys, I'm pretty sure you can see the roots in there. Now, technically this is ready to be potted up in soil, but I think I'm gonna hold off just a little while longer. One of the reasons why I propagated this in the first place is because the mother plant, it was growing so beautifully. I even filmed the video. It was included in my video where I brought my outdoor plants back inside. And I feel like when I did that, when I brought the plant back inside, it just took a turn for the worse. Of course, you know, you have to give plants a moment to acclimate back into the indoor temperatures. It was outside one summer. I believe it was actually last summer. I had it outside on my balcony. It was enjoying the sun, putting out a new leaf just about every week. And then I brought it inside and the plant was probably like, where's my sun? Where's my heat? I feel like bringing the plant back inside gave it a little bit of a shock, understandably so, because the plants have to acclimate. But it just started dropping leaves like so consistently. And I know that's something that typically happens no matter the variety. I know it happens. But it was just dropping leaves so much where the plant was just looking a little crazy. So rather than dumping out the entire plant, because I love this plant, one of the things that drew me to this plant is the foliage. I mean, it's so beautiful. So I just decided to just go ahead and propagate it, and 6 months later, here we are. Now this little leaf here in the center, I noticed that it has not opened up at all. Hopefully you guys can see it there. That's usually how it starts off when it's growing a new leaf. And I noticed that this one just decided not to open up. So, excuse me, that's another reason why I'm a little hesitant to transfer it over to soil, just because I want to make sure this is still a healthy plant. There doesn't appear to be any root rot on here, but I'm going to do a little bit of research on this one just to make sure I'm doing this plant justice. Here are the other two that I'm currently propagating. This is my Adansonii here on the side, but here in the center, I don't believe I showed this in my monstera propagation video, but this is another piece that I am propagating from that plant. And this is what those roots are looking like. Let me bring you in a little closer. So there are the roots on this one. Again, I can definitely pot it up in soil if I wanted to, but I'm probably just gonna leave it in the water a little while longer. Hopefully you guys can see it. I know that picture's a little distracting, but there it is up against a plain white wall. All right, there's that. And then here is the golden pothos that I mentioned. Again, this is my golden pothos plant, and I'll insert a photo of what the plant looks like on the side. This clipping, or these 3 clippings I should say, is from my pothos plant. Now, I will say that I was propagating that plant. I had some additional clippings, and I was probably propagating a total of maybe 10 individual stems, but these 3 in particular, at the time, the roots didn't grow as much as the other 7. So I decided to just place this back in some water. Hopefully you can see it a little better. I decided to place them back in some water just so they can grow a little bit more. So they've been back in water now for a total of maybe 2 weeks. And this is the growth that I've received so far. So this, I'll definitely give it a little while longer, give it some more time to mature, do its thing. And this one is pretty long. Well, it'll be kind of difficult to show, but you guys know what golden pothos leaves look like. So that's it. And if you didn't see my monstera video, here are those propagations as well. Those are all the propagations that I wanted to share with you guys. Let me know if you have any questions below in the comments. If not, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.